You mean everything to me because I know you mean everything to Christ. And Christ means everything to me.
And I called on the Lord. I said, man, that Father, this is real. Will you watch over me? Will you raise them up to be strong? I'm just a man with flesh. This is what you called for in your scriptures. You said they wore studs and fringes, they got it on. You said they follow the law, they doing it. You said under your house shine, they ought to love one another. And they doing it.
We're in front of the Israeli School, Universal Practical Knowledge, the Philadelphia Division, here at 3226 Cheltenham Avenue in Philadelphia. We're standing in front of the school right now, getting a description of the 12 tribe sign that's been painted by one of the brothers that was in the school: Judah, Benjamin, Levi, Simeon, Zebulun, Ephraim, Manasseh, Gad, Reuben, Naphtali, Asher, and Issachar. Those are the 12 tribes of Israel.
Shalom. Shalom. You've been waiting for this day, so this day has finally come. A lot of you have been wondering where this knowledge that you've been hearing is coming from, and the powerful truth that you've been hearing, how this was established. Well, we finally were able to arrange for the priests to come down from New York and spend some time with us. And I'd like to introduce them if I can. These are some great brothers. We're very glad to have them with us. We want to make them feel as warm as possible because this is their work and the extension of their work and what they've laid down some time ago. I'd like to introduce, first of all, priest and Sixth Shield General, 4th in command in the nation of Israel, Lahab. I'd like to salute this brother, Macho. Barak. Yeshabiam, which means sit. And I'm going to turn it over now to Priest General Lahab.
Water, brother. I'd like to say this, starting off, we're very impressed at your school here, and we're very impressed to see that the brothers and sisters in Philadelphia think enough of the Most High and the Bible and the truth and your nationality to be a part of this, because most of the brothers and sisters are running from the truth.
Shalom, Israel. It's time to come get your full dose of truth for the week.
You got Mondays, history class, taught by Officer 500 Shariwan and Officer 500 Ahabawan. 7 to 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Tuesday, you got Word to the Unwise podcast from 6 to 7 p.m. Followed by the main event, Captain and Priest Hadaria Allah, teaching scripture breakdown, the Bible like you never heard it before. 7 to 9 p.m. Eastern Standard. Wednesday, we got Priest and Officer 1000 Awaja teaching you all about the law. Tune in. 7 to 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Thursday, you got myself, Priest and Officer 5000 Kazak Amaf, joined by Priest and Officer 500 Barak Yah, teaching you the Brotherhood class from 5 to 7 p.m. Friday, learn to speak in the Holy top. 7 to 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Hey, listen, brothers and sisters, man. If you like what you hear, hit the subscribe button, man. Subscribe to this channel. And also, please, go to isubk.com and pay your tithe. Drop me some cash so we can move around this planet like we need to, man, and do the things we need to do.
They're one West. They're one West. They're one.
One West, that's who we are, nigga. One West, One West. So who is y'all, nigga? One West, One West. We want it all, nigga. That's who we are, nigga. So who is y'all, nigga? One West, One West. That's who we are, nigga. One West, One West. So who is y'all, niggas? One West, One West. We want it all, nigga. That's who we are, nigga. So who is y'all, niggas?
UPK soldiers got them killers with me, and I don't fuck with every spot cause it's too iffy. Real motherfucking prophet cause the Lord with me, but don't get that shit twisted, I got Drake's with me. Yeah, bitch, and that whole 50. Run up on me wrong, you gon' catch 60. Wait, you gon' catch 20. The other 30 for your homies, bitch, I got plenty. And I'll shoot this motherfucker till that clip empty. Taking orders from your bitch, you a fucking simpy. Shit, should be televised. The way I'm cutting niggas up, bitch, I'm a samurai. Niggas swear they in the truth, but telling hella lies. Stumping like you Greek, bitch, you Hellenized. The revolution gon' be televised, and what I see in my vision gon' leave you petrified.
One West, One West, that's who we are, nigga. One West, One West. So who is y'all, nigga? One West, One West. We want it all, nigga. That's who we are, nigga. So who is y'all, nigga? One West, One West. That's who we are, nigga. One West, One West. So who is y'all, niggas? One West, One West. We want it all, nigga. That's who we are, nigga. So who is y'all, niggas?
UPK soldiers lead cowards and awe. So fuck a gas stop. I came with 6 pumps in my car. My niggas ready to swing. We like kids at the park. So touch a chair around this bitch and we breaking your jaw. They think we Christian, but we not. Nothing about us is soft. I don't know what you niggas on, but that shit get you off. We booted up. We came to take zones for real. Black 40 under my garment. I be dressed to kill. Fourth dimension sitting linger. I be fresh for real. Putting scripts on your corners, but these here ain't pills. We rock covers. You official if you know those drills. Bread and water, you official if you know those meals. Yeah, you niggas soldiers get rolled over. You got police in your pocket, I got a judge in my holster. Oppressors out to get us, so remain sober. Or be chained to them chains till there's nothing that remains of us. A cult leader like Christ, we got the same culture. I bang on them, tell my enemies the reign's over. I up the sig and keep pulling like a chain smoker. The game ain't changed, One West stayed the same on them.
One West, One West, that's who we are, nigga. One West, One West. So who is y'all, nigga? One West, One West. We want it all, nigga. That's who we are, nigga. So who is y'all, nigga? One West, One West. That's who we are, nigga. One West, One West. So who is y'all, niggas? One West, One West. We want it all, nigga. That's who we are, nigga. So who is y'all, niggas?
Niggas talking prophets, yeah, we got plenty. We the reason why it's Israelites around the city. Call Kazak, tells the rock, bring Shamar out. We about to slide on them, see what niggas talking about. Young dog think he wise cause he a Kim head. That shit lame, they didn't survive, nigga, Kim is dead. Where I'm from, little nigga, is a dirty game. I pledge allegiance to Yahweh, bitch, I'm UPK. Huh, nigga, let's talk bodies. Set up on your corner, wake up everybody. Big priest, until I'm dead deceased. The mission is complete until you're off the street. So y'all on the internet, stumping down the street. But take the poor and the weak. Touch a sister or a brother, you gonna be sleep. But take the poor and the weak.
One West, One West, that's who we are, nigga. One West, One West. So who is y'all, nigga? One West, One West. We want it all, nigga. That's who we are, nigga. So who is y'all, nigga? One West, One West. That's who we are, nigga. One West, One West. So who is y'all, niggas? One West, One West. We want it all, nigga. That's who we are, nigga. So who is y'all, nigga?
Fucking with the brothers, then I'm giving out major pain clip full of ball heads. I'm shooting out Damon Wayne's driven ambition. I ain't never changing lanes, wise as an old man, but I ain't slanging cane. This ain't a game, this shit way deeper than rap. You speaking the cap, but the shit y'all speaking is cap. I'm 5,000, but I still keep it a stack. I'm in the truth, not cause back then I was seeking the fact. Cry aloud for the niggas that's deep in the back. And the Lord with me, ain't no reason for keeping the strap. We peep the attacks, niggas say we ain't speaking the facts. Stealing breakdowns every time we teaching in class. Niggas snitching, y'all out here squeaking with rats. We be on the street corners teaching that Jesus is black.
We on 125th Street, Harlem, nigga, you see where we at?
One West, One West, that's
That's who we are, nigga. One West, one West. So who is y'all, nigga? One West, one West. We want it all, nigga. That's who we are, nigga. So who is y'all, nigga? One West, one West. That's who we are, nigga. One West, one West. So who is y'all, niggas? One West, one West. We want it all, nigga. That's who we are, nigga.
Ironic.
You know the truth is the truth, that's all I know. Cry loud and spare not, you gon' get exposed. A few real niggas left, you not one of those. Real soldiers, we was born to stand 10 toes. If he ain't one West, that nigga not one of mine. He got a purple 12, me, I got a black 9. The truth is the wife of my youth, chopper my concubine. Had to die to get my rib, that bitch forever mine. You know the game, a bishop gotta be blameless. But GMS teaching niggas to be rapists. They screaming we snitch. When Joel Morgan was killed by your brother, y'all ain't say shit. Real prophets only dwell in the UPK, PSA, we don't sign NDAs. Real prophets only dwell in the UPK, PSA, we don't sign NDAs.
Hey, 100 deep, 100 shields on, that's 100 priests. 100 boots, that's 200 feet. Tongue like a sword when I fucking speak. Teach you how to fish instead of fucking leech. Stop selling drugs instead of trying to fuck with me. Knowledgeable, but I'm rude in my fucking speech. Life is about warfare, not no fucking peace. Hey, bitch, I cry loud when I fucking speak. Make them wait a year before they fuck with me. Turn a street nigga to a fucking priest. Cross a priest, and I promise you forever sleep.
Shalom, Israel. Can you hear me, sir?
Khan, can you hear me okay?
Khan, out of one Khan, sir. Khan, out of one Khan. Israel.
All right, Shalom, Israel. Yabashim Shabrak. Oh, you can hear me okay? Or am I lagging?
Khan, I hear you great.
Okay, Khan.
Want me to get it kicking off, or you got it?
Yeah, I got it. Shalom, Israel. Yabashim Shabrak Thumb. All the brothers, Yahweh Shema Thumb, Hashim Yashad, all the sisters. All right, we got Priest and Officer 500 Ahabawan with us. Myself, Shariwan, teaching another Monday night history class. All right, we got some good information today. And Salaki Ahabawan, I want to get right into it. We got a lot of information. All right, a lot of information, a lot of good information. You know what I mean? And so, brothers and sisters, again, if you're watching, like, share, subscribe. All right. Make sure you hit that share button, share the class. All right. Let's get to it, Abuan.
Let's go. Where you want me to start at? Well, the name of the class is Cointelpro, Christianity and Your Beliefs. Right. So what we're going to pull out today is some things where those other people infiltrated groups that our people started off. Not saying that these groups were in the truth, not saying these groups were teaching the truth, but they were trying to unite black people the best way that they knew how. They were trying to unite black people the best way that they knew how at the time. Now that we got the truth, Commander General Yohanan done push this truth in the earth. Now we understand how we have to unite black folk. So, sir, where you want to get started at?
Yeah, if you could grab that scripture of beware of false prophets when Christ said that in the book of Matthew, because again, this is a history class, and there's a lot of things that we can learn from history. You know what I mean? Like the book of Ecclesiastes says, there's no new man under the sun, meaning that the spirits that are here on earth, they're constantly recycling. You know what I mean? There's a saying that says history repeats itself. And there's a lot of things that we can learn from history. We see history repeat itself time and time again. And, history can shed a lot of knowledge for us to really help us navigate this earth. The Bible says that that knowledge shall be the stability of thy times.
Damn right.
You know what I mean? Knowledge will help you be stable here in 2025 when there is so much instability. You got all this LGBT alphabet community group out here. You got 100 different Israelite groups, 40,000 different Christian denominations. You got all these different denominations in the Islamic church or faith, whatever you want to call it. There is so much information out there. You know what I mean? Especially with the internet coming out here. You know, being the what do they call it? The age of what's that word? Something about the age of technology.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like technology has really helped us have such an abundance of knowledge at our fingertips. But one of the things that Blacks, Hispanics, and Indigenous people have always, you know, our oppressor has always had a fear of us learning and gaining is the knowledge of the Bible. You know, we see that historically in slavery where they were terrified of the Black man reading the Bible.
Damn right.
Terrified of what Blacks would do under oppression if they would read the book for themselves. And so what did they do? They hired or would bring different preachers on the plantation to tell you what it is they wanted you to tell.
If I may say,
yep, go ahead.
You know, that's the beginning of Cointelpro.
Yeah, kind of.
That's the beginning right there. When they started to bring those preachers in and teach you this slave Bible, right? When they started to do that, that's the start of it, right? Yep. Think about this. The FBI didn't exist during, you know, who was that? J. Edgar Hoover, who brought out the FBI, started to run the FBI, yep. Right? FBI didn't exist, right? The Federal Bureau of Investigation didn't come about until some Edomites was robbing banks. You know, that was the time of Bonnie and Clyde and what was the Chicago gangster? You know, all these big time Edomite gangsters that was, you know, Dillinger and all them, where they were running rampant with as far as robbing banks and doing all different type of crime. The FBI didn't come about until then. They were doing that. Our people was only trying to feed one another. Right, we were trying to feed, give kids breakfast, give kids food. You know, even if we, you know, so like I said, the FBI didn't come out, but COINTELPRO, the evolution of COINTELPRO came out when they started to infiltrate us, because that's part of COINTELPRO, them infiltrating us and feeding us the information and the doctrine that they want us to learn.
That's right, damn right. I mean, and yeah, and that knowledge that you just brought out is, you know, it's one of the ways of understanding who our oppressor really is.
Damn right.
Understanding the full out assault that he's had on us here in North and South Central America and really all throughout the world. You know what I mean? Always having a hand, you know what I mean, in our, you know, us trying to liberate ourselves as a people. You know what I mean? Us reading the Bible for ourselves and really truly having Black leadership. I'm gonna say one more thing, we'll get that verse. You know, because there's something heavy that General Yohana, you know, always says, and is that in the ISUPK, we are really the only organization on earth that is truly free of any European influence.
Damn right.
You know what I mean? We don't compromise our beliefs, you know, to satisfy the white man. We don't compromise our beliefs to join with the Africans, to join with the Asians, to join with anybody. You know what I mean? Abba Bivens and those brothers were really what's that word? Let's say radicalists, you know, in that they did something new on the earth where you've never seen it before. We don't join with anybody. Our leadership, our leader, you know what I mean, is a Black man, and he has no influence from Europeans or anybody else. And that is something that has always terrified our oppressor.
Yes, sir.
Let's get that verse.
Right before I grab this verse, sir, what was so heavy about what you said? Because it kept Saturday. What happened? Edomite came like, How can I join your organization?
Hell
No.
no.
No. This is the book of Matthew, chapter 7 and verse 15. Beware of false prophets.
Beware of false prophets. Like that knowledge right there, you know, and so many other verses in the Bible will really help you, you know, have stability in these times. You know what I mean? It doesn't matter what you watch, whether you're watching a documentary, whether you turn on YouTube and listen to a Nasty Nate in the IUIC, you listen to the next best preacher. Geno Jennings comes out and says some new shit that nobody's ever heard. It doesn't matter who it is. You hear a brother in the ISUPK teaching this Bible. Christ said, beware of false prophets. So when you hear somebody speaking on the Bible, you shouldn't just be accepting any and everything that people tell you. You know what I mean? The scriptures say, study to show thyself approved.
Damn right.
You really got to read this Bible for yourself. Ask questions. That's something so beautiful in the ISUPK. You can ask any fucking question you want. It doesn't matter. We are not going to, you know what I mean, shut you down. Ask anything. Call for counsel at any time. You know what I mean? Test our knowledge if you want. You know what I mean? Right. And really, truly see if this is a place that obeys God. Because not only did Christ say, beware of false prophets, you know what I mean? He also gave you the blueprint to test them. He said, ye shall know them by their fruits. You should look at the fruits of every single organization that speaks on the Bible, that uses the Bible to teach something or push, you know what I mean, any sort of information. You should look at the fruits of their organization. You know what I mean? ISUPK has been around for, you know, for decades now. You can look at the fruits of brothers and sisters in the ISUPK. You can look at the type of men and women that are produced from being in this school. You can look at Sakari and look at the fruits of the people that are produced. You see, as time goes on, you come to find out that, you know, their leader is putting dildos up his backside.
But he said, Paul,
you know what I mean? Like, we really got to be alert out here. You know what I mean? And it's such a it should be such an easy concept to understand because we've been lied to so many damn times in this society. You know what I mean? And as we get into this this class, you know what I mean, you're gonna see some of the ways that our oppressor has forced lies down our throats. You know what I mean? The last article I sent you, Ahabawan, I think.
Do you want me to finish the scripture, sir?
Oh yeah, go ahead. Let's finish that, then we'll get the article.
So this is the book of Matthew, chapter 7 and verse 15. Beware of false prophets, which come to you in sheep's clothing.
Come to you in sheep's clothing. You think of a sheep, you think of a very docile animal. You know what I mean? Like you think of an animal that is easily preyed on. You know what I mean? A lion can take a sheep out. A wolf can take a sheep out. So many different animals, you know what I mean, can prey on sheep. And Christ said, these prophets come to you in sheep's clothing. You see IUIC, they come to you wearing, every single one of them got the same damn purple shirt on.
Oh, that's not a mini skirt?
Mini skirt on with a smile on their face. You know what I mean? You can't tell me those people don't look friendly. You can't tell me those people don't look docile. You can't tell me that this doesn't look like a group that is easily approachable. What's something they say that a man can only have one wife? That thing sounds good. You know what I mean? It sounds good that, you know, all of Africa, you know, can join with us. Everybody who has the same skin color as us can join with us. They're all the children of God. These things sound good. You know what I mean? There's things that have an appearance of being good. You know what I mean? They'll tell you that, we don't allow thugs and gangsters in our organization. You know what I mean? They'll tell you if you see somebody, resisting arrest, that they deserve to be shot by the police. Like this mindset, the mindset that they have is the same mindset of the people that have oppressed us. The same mindset of the things that they forced on our people to be docile. You know what I mean? To be in a certain way where, we're pleasing to everybody. And that's the exact thing that Christ said to beware of. Beware of them that come to you in sheep's clothing. Finish that verse.
Kind, sir. But inwardly, they are raving wolves.
Inwardly, they are raving wolves. The IUIC is sending dick pictures to every, every LGBT, member in their organization.
You should
inwardly they're a wolf. Go ahead, Alvin.
I say you should know them by their fruit.
Yo, I mean, god damn.
That's the scripture. That's not me. You don't know them by their fruit.
You know what I mean? And it's not just the IUIC. It's every single organization, specifically Black, Hispanic, and Indigenous organization. Any people that we have ever looked up to in this kingdom, ever looked up to for, knowledge or guidance on how we should live, they are all inwardly ravening wolves.
Mm-hmm.
These preachers taking thousands of dollars out of your pocket for 20 years, and then after 20 years, you ask them for a pair of shoes, and they say, "Nah, we don't got shoes for you. We don't got a $10 pair of shoes for you. We can't help you." Sorry. You know what I mean? Like, inwardly, they are wolves. Inwardly, they're plotting to sleep with your wife. You know what I mean? They leave the church and they start smoking cigarettes. They leave the church and they start dressing like a whore in a strip club. You know what I mean? Like all the different things that go on inside the Christian church. And every organization that has ever fucking existed that we've ever seen in North America. You know what I mean? They always have some kind of deviancy that they try to hide on the inside. And in the ISUPK, what you're going to see is brothers who, we're not inwardly wolves. We are outwardly brothers who you fear. We're outwardly on that street, they're being loud and masculine as hell. You know what I mean? How many times have I seen videos putting a bitch in check? How many times have I seen videos like you brought out just this week, and this white boy comes up to us with his hands up. Can I join you guys? What do the brothers in the ISUPK say? Fuck no, you can't join us. Are we inwardly wolves or are we outwardly wolves? You know what I mean?
We outwardly wolves. We wolves on outside. We wolves on outside, sir.
Yeah, right. And
so, my thing is this was, if I may.
Yeah, go ahead.
Is that the scripture? That scripture you brought so heavy because it says, "Beware of false prophets." Right? They come as sheep. They come as sheep. The ISUBK not coming as sheep. We're not trying to be docile, right? We're not trying to. Christ was an austere man, and when Christ being an austere man, he wasn't coming at you docile like a weakling, like a chump. We're trying to bring our brothers and sisters into the truth, but at the same time, we don't come to you like, buddy, we're going to be your friend. We're going to hug you. We're going to gently bring you up. No, nigga, it's time to shed yourself of this world. Nigga, it's time to get all that, whatever it is that you're dealing with in this world. It's time to get that shit off you and grow up and be a man, right? Woman, it's time for you to put on some damn clothes and be a woman, right? That's how we come at you, right? That ain't wolves in sheep clothing. That's wolves.
Yep.
That's wolves. But I found a scripture, sir, that back up some of this Cointelpro, some of this inward operation, some of this, these sneak agendas that they got playing. And I wanted to spit it to you.
Yeah, go ahead. Bring that up.
This is Psalms chapter 10 and verse 8, right? It says, "He sitteth in the lurking places of the village. In the secret places doeth he murder the innocent." Isn't that what we got going on right now? right? Sandra Bland and Sonia Massey, right? Think about it. They were in these people's houses. Can't nobody see what's going on inside their houses. And what happened? Them individuals were murdered, right? What's Jokum? What's his name? The brother that was in his own house in his apartment. The police officer kicked the door in. The white girl kicked the door in. He eating ice cream on the couch.
Right? Yeah. I remember.
They brushed her hair and they brushed her damn hair in the court. Think about it. This brother was in his secret place. He was in his crib. He was in his house. Right? Think about this is what the scriptures say about this oppressor we got. So it says his eyes are privately set against the poor. Right? Your SNAP benefits is shut off right now. Right? Our poor people. Now we do understand that it's more poor white people on SNAP than it is poor black folk. But understand is that guy that sit up the top of the United States, he believed he was attacking you. Right? He's on the assumption that according to American law, if martial law is brought out across the United States, an acting president does not have to be removed. He can sit in his place, right? So if he is able to, pull all the benefits and get these people to do things so he can push martial law, then he could be sitting in there like Putin and don't have to get out of the office, right? Right. Let me continue.
Think about this, Rob. Think about this. You know what I mean? The Black Panther Party, it was started as, to help as a food program, getting lunches to kids inside of schools.
Yes, sir.
Like that was a people who, were in need of some assistance. And these bastards went in and destroyed the entire Black Panther party.
Yes, sir. Even the Crips and Bloods started off as neighborhood organizations that helped the neighborhood. They weren't beefing against each other until the feds did what? Intervene. So the feds got involved. If you allow me to finish this, and I'll be done in a second.
Go ahead.
This is verse 9. He lieth in wait secretly as a lion in his den, and he lieth in wait to catch the poor. He catches the poor when he draws him into his net. Think about the things that he do to catch the poor. They pump, what's his name? Ronald Reagan pumped dope into our neighborhoods. And guess what? Allowed that the only job that the black man can have. He gave the black woman aid, told her to kick the black man out, won't get a black man a job, but yet still he's gonna pump dope into the neighborhood. We're pumping dope into the neighborhood. Guess what happened? Black man, you selling dope and you own dope.
Yeah.
Right? So he using that. That's his net. Not since you selling dope and you either selling dope or you own dope, right? So I catch you either for possession or I catch you for distributing. So if you own dope, I got you for possession. If you're selling dope, I got you for distribution. It's a lose-lose situation, right? Verse 10. He crouches and humbles himself. Think about what the white man does. He crouches and he humbles himself that the poor may fall by his strong ones. Look at ICE running up through your neighborhood. Right now, ICE is running up. I've never seen an ICE agent until recently, right? I've always heard of the border control and all that kind of stuff. Those type of individuals. I've heard it when what's his name? When the African was president, Obama. I heard of ICE, but I've never actually seen an ICE agent. I've been in Detroit my whole life. Right, I've never actually seen an ICE agent, right, or ICE agents until this administration here, sir. And all he's doing is attacking the poor. And my issue, one of the biggest issues, is that he's calling these individuals, these Latino brothers and sisters, these Mexican brothers and sisters, illegal aliens, when they're not. Technically, if you classify it, they're not illegal aliens. They're undocumented Americans, right? And I was trying to explain this to my sister the other day. I said, they're undocumented Americans. I said, if you lose your birth certificate, right, and lose your credit card, now you can't get a birth certificate, right, because you got to order it. Now you can't get a birth certificate. Now you lost your birth certificate. You lost your credit card. You can't find your credit card. You can't order a birth certificate. You are considered an undocumented individual in America. Your ass, ICE can take your ass up out of here too. I digress.
That's heavy. That's such a heavy precept.
You know, you've been forcing me to get my precept game up a little bit. I was like, I got one for him today. I got a couple.
No, that was such a heavy precept.
I'm gonna give you that one first.
God. But let's jump into that article, that last one that I sent you.
Kind, sir.
Yeah, I mean, and again, what did you?
If I may, sir.
Yeah, go ahead.
Can you see the comments, or do I need to hit the computer?
Let me see.
We got a lot of people checking in.
Comments. Yeah, Con, I got the comments. So we got Nadabar checking in. Robert Tucker.
Tuck. How you doing? Shalom Lord Christ.
Yep. Aisha Banath.
Shah.
Princess Nawar.
Shalom, sis. Shalom, sis. That's all we got right now?
Yeah, Yabashim Shabak Thumb, Yashma Thumb Bashim Chai. And Robert Tucker said, thanks for your live class. Jesus is God. All right, we won't answer that right now.
Okay.
Don't put that. Let's get to the topic. But Thawada, you know what I mean? Thawada means thank you in the Hebrew, Robert. You know what I mean? I appreciate you coming into the classes. What you want to do, Robert, come in on Tuesday, all right? Come in on Tuesday, ask your questions. If you feel like, you know, you want to challenge some of the things we teach, Tuesday is probably a better class for you to do that.
Now, if you want to, sir,
good.
We can, you know, we're diverse enough to go ahead and answer that Jesus is God. But if Robert, if you're just looking to get some more learning, some more education, what's your nationality, Robert? Ethnicity?
Yeah, we'll leave him be Abawan. All right. Coming in on all the classes.
But, I got that article, sir.
Yeah, let's get that.
This is the American crime case, number 42, Cointelpro. The FBI targets the Black freedom struggle from 1956 to 1971. Bob Arvagan, God damn, that's a bold. Arvagan, you see that name, has written one of the three things that has to happen in order for there to be the real and lasting change for the better. People have to fully confront the actual history of this country and its role in the world up to today, and the terrible consequence of this, Jump down. In the light and the spirit, American crime is a regular feature of that's a rev.com US. Each installment focuses on one of the 100 crimes committed by the American rulers. Out of countless bloody crimes they have carried out against people around the world from the founding of the United States to the present day.
Now, you know, I want to touch on that really quick.
Please.
Because they, you know, as J. Edgar Hoover, as all the what could you call it? As all the operations that he approved to do, you'll see that like that. There's an article I have. I have the actual newspapers where originally he was found out to he had committed like 100 burglaries, unlawful burglaries. Yeah. And then after some more time had gone on, it was found out that, you know, he had sanctioned like 150 burglaries. And then more time came out, they found out, wait a minute, he sanctioned over 250 burglaries. Some more time came out. You would have thought that, wait a minute, the FBI was responsible for these 250 burglaries, thinking like, damn, what did they do? More time came out and they found out they had commissioned over 1,000 burglaries after more time came out, Ahabawan,
Hey,
they
what?
found out he had sanctioned over 2,000 burglaries. Like, I don't think people really understand, you know, the level of evils that the FBI has committed.
Not just that, sir, but people don't understand the cover up that go on with them committing these crimes. Think about it. It's regulated that he gave he committed 5-10 burglaries.
Mhm.
Now it's about 2,000.
Yeah.
Really, it's probably about 10,000, right? Because in the early days of the school, the FBI ran up in the school. I don't know if you heard that story.
No, lie, I didn't hear that
Early
one.
days of the Detroit school, the feds, the government ran up into the school, kicked the door in, ran up in there and went in there and took out items that didn't belong to them, belonged to the individuals that was at the school.
And and what we have to understand, like when we say that the white man is the devil that the Bible speaks of, like we really don't understand the level of how diabolical our oppressor truly is. Like we really don't understand as a people the amount of levels that our oppressor will go to destroy us. Like we bring out, all the time about how, the FBI put drugs in our community. Do you like I don't think people could truly understand the level of psychology that would go behind a people willing to, do something that they define as illegal. They define as a criminal offense. They'll define and depict us as, thugs and gangsters and killers, murderers, deadbeat fathers and our sisters are whores and this and that. They'll portray us in such a light. And it's like, wait a minute. They're the ones who put these drugs here. You know what I mean? They're the ones who literally had a plan to get adults addicted to crack cocaine. Who put together a plan to destroy families.
Damn right. If I may, sir, I just want to ask one question. Who invented crack?
Right.
Right? Because I asked that question, and I'll give people time to answer that question. Crack cocaine wasn't invented in the inner city, right? Who and where was crack invented? I'll give you a hint. The year was 1971.
Yeah, it's so diabolical. There's a sister. I know you probably know this, Ahabawan. Can't remember her name, but she had written that book, The Bluest Eye. And she sat there and damn near came to tears, speaking on she couldn't understand how a white mother of kids could actually set a school bus on fire that had black children in the bus. Like she couldn't understand how a mother could actually do something like that. Not just a mother, like these are mothers. This is a riot of white women who are setting a school bus on fire full of black kids. And she's trying to scratch her head like, how the fuck could somebody do something like this? You know what I mean? Like she can't understand the level of hatred that somebody has because she's such a compassionate woman. Blacks, Hispanics, and Indigenous, we're such compassionate people that we can't understand the level of evils that a person is willing to do. And because of that block that we have, like it is really hard to understand how you could give like crack rocks to, you know, somebody's father, somebody's mother. You know what I mean? Knowing this is going to destroy their family. You know what I mean? Knowing that putting this inside of a community, you know, who's impoverished by their own government, you know, putting these poor conditions by their own government is further going to do things to destroy this community. Like they've really done some evil to our people. There's so much abuse that they have done to our people. It's really hard to understand, you know, the extents that they're willing to go to. But let's keep reading.
Real quick, sir. I stand corrected. It wasn't 1971. It was 1972, and there was a UCLA doctor, right, and scientist by the name of Robert K. Siegel.
Right.
Right. So that's when crack cocaine started to hit your neighborhood. Now, understand this: if you watch some of these movies about these gangsters or series about these gangsters, they'll tell you it started off in California, and then it got pushed throughout the United States. Yep. So I got the rest of that. You ready?
Yep. Right.
It says from 1956 to 1971, the FBI operated a covert illegal program that targeted the system's political opponents in the United States. The program Cointelpro for counterintelligence program. Doesn't that sound like an oxymoron?
Right.
Was used to infiltrate, harass, disrupt, smear, and murder or destroy individuals of organizations. COINTELPRO targeted the Black Civil Rights and Liberation Movement, communist, socialist, nationalist, independent movement, the left wing, studies radical and anti-war movements, and gay rights and environment activists.
Right. Now think about this, right? We're in 2025, and every single goddamn year, you know, we're gonna hear about Martin Luther King Day. This was a man who was a part of civil rights, the civil rights activists. You know what I mean? And he is one of many of the Black civil rights activists that the FBI targets. Now, you really got to ask yourself, what was the FBI able to accomplish? And why was it so important for them to infiltrate Black civil rights activists and movements? Like, civil rights is a movement where Blacks are fighting for rights.
Civil rights. Civil.
It's like civility.
Can I look up the definition of civil?
Yeah, go ahead.
Hey Siri, define civil. Civil, relating to ordinary citizens and their concerns, as distinct from military and ecclesiastical matters. Right? Relating to private. Oh crap, it jumped.
I mean, that's to wild. Like you fighting to just be a regular citizen, a regular civilian.
A civilian.
Like that's what these movements were about. You're just trying to be like an everyday civilian. That's what this movement is about. And your government sends an entire federally funded, government-funded agency to stop you from being a civilian, to infiltrate, you know what I mean, the different rights that you're fighting for as a civilian in this place.
If I may, sir.
Go ahead.
Let's look at some of the things that civilians do.
Right.
They go to the park, go to the store. You know what I'm saying? They go buy some Skittles. They might buy a Subway sandwich. You know, think about the things you do as a citizen being civil. right? Civil, you just want to walk down the street. In order to be civil, you can walk down the street and not say nothing to nobody, and you're civil. Or you can walk down the street, hey, how you doing, Mr. Such Such, Miss Such Such, how y'all doing?
Yeah.
That's being civil. So black people fought for the rights to walk down the street and say, how you doing, Mr. Shariwan?
Yeah.
How's your wife? They fought for the rights to go to the store and buy some Skittles and walk back home. They fought for the rights to get a Subway sandwich. Think about the simple things to be civil, right? Now you got to look at why did they fight for those rights and why did we want those rights? Because guess what? I can't walk down the street and say, how you doing, Mr. Shariwan, Officer Shariwan, how your ribs doing? I can't walk down the street and do that because as soon as I lift my hand up, he got a gun.
Right.
I can't ask the police for help because guess what? He got a gun.
Right.
Right. And guess what? They immediately unalive me. I can't drive down the street. Think about driving with my wife and my child. I can't ride with my wife and my child, right? And get pulled over by the police, right? Because they're going to act uncivil. They're going to ask me for my ID. I'm going to reach for my ID and say, here's my ID, sir. And they're going to unalive me. Think about it. I can't call the police and say, your wife cannot, your rib cannot call the police and say, hey, I think it's somebody in my backyard trying to climb through my window. Because when the police get there, they're going to unalive her.
Right.
Right? Think about the thing. Your 12-year-old son cannot play, being civil, playing in the park. Your 12-year-old son cannot play in the park in Chicago without the police pulling up and unaliving him. Right? That's just being civil. Those are the things you do being civil. Right? I can't go get a Subway sandwich and walk through my ribs garage, and take it into the house because now I'm in the upscale neighborhood and I'm breaking into the house and you get unalived. Think about the things that black people get unalived for, and you say, that's not civil. It don't sound civil to me. What about you, sir?
Hell no.
Look, we right here at 12355 Gratiot Avenue. Think about what's going on, right? Gratiot Avenue, anybody that lives in the city of Detroit know that Gratiot Avenue has been a goddamn raceway, a drag strip from downtown to 8 Mile. You see how these individuals drive up Gratiot?
Yep.
Now, right, the police chief has given the police the order to go ahead and attack the speeders, right, that go up and down Gratiot. People still speeding. You know why? Because they're not attacking speeders. They're attacking poor people. Right? Because think about this. Just last, about 4 or 5 Saturdays ago, we was here and you seen a bunch of Edomites on little motorcycles and mini bikes and all that kind of stuff going up, doing wheelies up Gratiot. The last I checked, doing wheelies was illegal in the city of Detroit. I'm talking about it was like 100 of them at least.
Right.
Right? But they can do wheelies up Gratiot, but I can't walk to the store, right? This pigment. You can't walk to the store without the police, the people that are supposed to protect you, being uncivilized. I'll leave it at that, sir. Because I got a scripture to go with that too.
Our freedom in America has always been a threat to our oppressor.
Damn right.
I mean, like you'll hear stories of, the lengths that they were willing to go to stop you from reading the Bible. You know what I mean? Like burning your eyes out of your sockets for reading a book, for reading the Bible, which I can almost say, maybe they had some sense to them because they understood how much wisdom was in this book. You know what I mean? And you could almost understand the amount of fear that they'd have if Blacks, Hispanics, and Indigenous really read the book and understood it. You know what I mean? Like it truly would be a threat to their national security.
Yes, it would.
And
think
so,
about it. Oh, Salakia.
Yeah, and so I'll just end here. It's like our freedom is really a threat to our oppressor, and they go to so much lengths, to stop our freedom. But that was it, Abuan.
Okay, so I'm just I got.
Yep, no sweat. So, yeah, when Abuan gets back, we'll get back into that article. The book of Ephesians, tells us we don't wrestle with flesh and blood. Meaning as a Black, Hispanic, and Indigenous, our battle isn't against our brothers.
Damn right.
Battle isn't against other Israelites, but we wrestle with powers and rulers in high places.
Cointelpro,
FBI. That is an agency in a very high place of power in this kingdom. You know what I mean? And not only do they have a high place of power, but they are a evil ass organization. You know what I mean? These are the things that Christ told us that we fight against. You know what I mean? The dark rulers of this world. Donald Trump is a evil bastard. You know what I mean? Every political party that has ever ruled, over North and South Central America is a evil ass party. You know what I mean? Like these are the people that we fight against. I sometimes I hear brothers say that, they got their freedom in Jamaica. It's like no, they don't. The Jamaicans, they answer to the UK Privy Council. How does a nation of people, living over in Europe, have the final say when it comes to law in Jamaica? In 2025, you still run by your oppressor.
Yes, sir.
Me watching Elephant Man, go to the UK Privy Council for his murder charges. It's like, what are we doing here? Got a bunch of white people sitting in suit and ties, making decisions for the country of Jamaica, where you see nothing but Black people.
If I may, sir.
Go ahead.
I want to get back to the article, but I want to bring something out, and I want to see if you notice what I noticed. Right here at this end of this last paragraph, it says, "Cointelpro targets the Black civil rights and liberation movements, communists, socialists, nationalists, independent movements, the left wing, and gay rights and the environmentalist activists." Right. So that's what Cointelpro targets. You tell me, because it only sounds like to me that Cointelpro only targeted one group. When they gonna get to the rest of them? You see what I'm saying?
Let's jump to the in that article. Pulling it up, Slack. I'm on my phone. If you jump down to the very last paragraph, let me see.
No, you passing up a lot of good stuff. The targeting the Panthers, the Los Angeles FBI sent to Hoover.
Slack.
Criminals, the government, the alibi, the movement.
Yeah, we'll get to all that. But jump down to Slack, yeah.
The real motive.
It speaks about the different organizations that they've targeted.
I see targeting the Panthers. Right before that, they got targeted Malcolm X. It says the fomenting feud and going after Malcolm X, targeting the Panthers. Cointelpro, let's continue. Okay. Say smearing and threatening Martin Luther King.
Right.
And the reason why I said that, sir, because it doesn't, you don't see them target any left wing or right wing activists, right? Think about what these left wing and these right wing people are doing in today's society. You had Dylan Roof walk up into a church with an unalived 9 parishioners, right? You had the I can't remember the guy in what was that? Who he had the 17-year-old that had the AR-15. He came from the state over and he had ended up firing in, what was that, in Minnesota or something like that?
Right.
He ended up shooting 3 people, but he unalived, I think, 2 of them. And Trump had him in the White House. He got off, and Trump just had him in the White House. Excuse me. Right. So you understand is that not only do their people get to take the lives of our people, they're brought up and basically worshipped. Dylan Roof is in prison right now, living like a king of all of the prison. He's one of the leading individuals in the institution that he's in now, right? These individuals go out and unalive 12 tribes, people that are part of the 12 tribes, and they get worshipped. And it's not something that's just started to happen, right? This has happened a long time ago. Think about when Nat Turner and his revolt went forth. They cut parts off of him, and they ate parts of him. And the individuals that performed that duty for the oppressor, they were lifted up. You see the Confederate flag now flying everywhere you go, but there's a statue for the general that led the Confederacy. Understand, the Confederate fought against America, fought against modern day America, right? So this Confederate flag, the Confederate flag is if you're an American, if you're a true red-blooded American, when you see that Confederate flag, you should despise it because it fought against what's going on in this nation right now that you so love, right? It opposed it. You should be, anything that you should oppose them the way you did, the way you opposed the Japanese during the bombing of Pearl Harbor. That's how you should oppose anytime. If you're a true-blooded American, you should oppose the Confederate flag the same way you oppose the bombing of the Japanese when they bombed Pearl Harbor. Right? Anybody that attacks your red, white, and blue, and what is it, 50 stars on that thing? How many stars on that flag? Somebody tell me how many stars on the flag. I know it started off as 13. Hey, sir, you froze. You good?
Con.
Okay. Where you want me to jump to next?
There's a paragraph that starts off with Cointelpro put black people under surveillance. It speaks about.
It says, I got it here.
Yep.
It says the FBI has admitted that it ran 295 Cointelpro operations against black individuals and black organizations. Is that where you want me to start at?
No lie. It says Cointelpro put blacks under surveillance. Shoot, I messed my camera up. I mean, because there's like the amount of links that you say you got it.
I got it, sir. It says Cointelpro put blacks under surveillance everywhere.
There you go. See, read that again.
Cointelpro put blacks people under surveillance everywhere.
Now, this is some documented history. You know what I mean? And it's something that that we should understand. How far that they're willing to go. You know what I mean? Where they're willing to infiltrate, because that's one of their motives, was specifically to infiltrate. Right? Go ahead.
Their stores, churches, classrooms, libraries, bars, and restaurants and settlement houses. Black students were particularly targeted for surveillance, and informers were sent into every college to watch all activists.
Now, now think about that. You're at school. You know what I mean? You're at college. The FBI is watching you.
Streets is watching.
You're inside a church. The FBI has, and not just watched, it said infiltrated. You know what I mean? Like, think about this. To infiltrate, your school, to infiltrate the store that you go to, that could mean that person, working behind that till, that pub or that coffee shop you go to every day, that could be an FBI informant. You go inside your church, that preacher, that pastor sitting up on the pulpit, that could be an FBI informant.
Damn right.
They have some special guests coming to your church that day. How do you know that is not the FBI? This isn't some conspiracy theorist. This is like a documented fact of looking at the history of what this Cointelpro did.
So happy.
Go ahead.
That goes back to the scripture, that Psalms 10 and 8, right? It says, he sitteth in the lurking places of the village, right? Mm-hmm. He sitteth in the lurking places of the village. In the secret places doeth he murder the innocent. His eyes were privily set against the poor. Think about this. He's sitting there, like you said, Cointelpro, he's sitting there, right? Not only is he lurking, but he's also sending ops. Right? That's how the young folk call it ops, right?
Right.
It's sending ops in to infiltrate whatever movement that you got going on. Now, what we never asked ourselves is, why would the government try to infiltrate black people, the poorest people in the United States? Right? Yeah. We think about this. We don't have a military to fight back with them. We don't have any policing arranging to protect us against the oppressors' policing. So we don't have a military to protect us against the oppressors' military, right? We don't have, the scriptures even say that our gates are languished, right? Our gates are languished. So the scriptures say how we're broken down we are. This oppressor understands how broken down we are, right? And the thing about it is that the oppressor is a sore winner. Right. Think about this. If we just say the roles were reversed, we were on top. After we beat this person down, what we do? We get up. All right. We hold them down. Police come get them. Get out the way. The oppressor doesn't want that. Right. What they want to do is they want to Emmett Till you. They want to Emmett Till you, not because you whistled at his woman. They want to Emmett Till you because he believes that you whistled at his woman. Right. At the end of the day, it was said that Emmett Till did not catcall that lady.
Sure.
You see, I'm keeping my composure. Right. So, and then not only that, they were the individuals that unalived Emmett Till were released. And then we're paid to write a book, right? These are the things that your oppressor do to you, and you want to hold hand in hand. Think about what we're seeing at camp, right? We got our people holding hand in hand with their oppressor, right? protesting against a black woman.
Mm-hmm.
Right, protesting against a black woman that didn't do anything but what the law allowed her to do.
Mm-hmm.
Not to say that the law allows you to do things legal, because slavery was once legal.
Right.
It's we just had a young brother at what's that, Mississippi Delta University, that was according to the police in that area, said they said he unalived himself.
Right.
But the autopsy showed, the parents did an autopsy, and it showed that both his arms and his legs were broken.
Right.
I've never known for someone to be able to unalive themselves with their limbs being broken, let alone stand up. So he broke both his arms, both his legs and his arm, and he threw a rope. Maybe he threw the rope first and then broke his legs and his arm and tied the rope up to something and jumped off of it. The reason why it sounds, it sounds so ignorant, because it is. It sounds so crazy because it's nuts.
Yeah. Yep. Like you remember when they you seen all those videos of stores being broken into, and they're saying things like petty crimes are, aren't an offense worthy of going to jail. And I remember seeing like videos of like 40 black young adults just running into like a Macy's and stealing everything at the store.
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about.
You know what I mean? It's like, as I'm watching this, I'm thinking in my head, like, how do you know that the FBI didn't send them there? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I keep seeing videos pop up in Toronto all the time of, these young kids breaking into a jewelry store with hammers and different things, breaking down the glass, stealing the jewelry, and I'm like, how do you know that the police didn't send them there? FBI didn't send them there to do this. You know what I mean? Like they've shown historically that they've been responsible for these things. You know what I mean? Like that one thing I said earlier, over 2,000 different burglaries. That was all done by the FBI.
All by the FBI.
You see this stuff pop up in the news, and you just think like, "Oh, look at these thugs, look at these, gangsters, look at the Bloods again doing X, Y, and Z." Bullshit.
I know what you thinking. You saying that you see it on the news, you thinking, "Look at these niggas."
Right.
That's what you thinking. Look at these. Look at this. Look at this. Look at these niggas. That's what you're thinking, because you don't understand it. Oh, no, the feds them got them organized to go and do this.
Right.
Right. Understand this, right, sir? If I may, you brought up the fact, and I wish we had someone that can verify it, about those Chicago boxes that just showed up with guns.
Right.
They just showed up in Chicago. Now I've heard about it, but I can't find any articles to bring out to back up the story. So I wish we were able to have someone. I might have to call our Chicago brothers and see if they could get us some articles or something like that on those things.
I believe it was happening in LA as well.
Yeah, I would believe so. Think about this. Look, we didn't create crack cocaine. And understand this is that Coca-Cola, way before we started to experiment with crack cocaine, Coca-Cola was putting a 3.5 of cocaine, right? 3.5 grams of cocaine into your Coca-Cola. And they also said it was a white man's drink, because whenever a black man would drink Coca-Cola, they believed that he wanted to ravage a white woman.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Now I can pull that article up that they said that Coca-Cola was a white man's drink, and that's why Pepsi took on the black community. So Pepsi started pushing their Pepsi supports their products towards the black community, right? But at the same time, Coca-Cola put cocaine inside Coke, the Coca-Cola drink.
Right.
So they were experimenting with cocaine long before we were.
That's right. Yep.
But
That'll probably be a whole class, boy.
yeah, that. You want me to continue with this, sir?
Yeah, let's read a little more on that.
Kind of one kind. It says at Swarthmore College, every black student was under surveillance. Every black student was under surveillance. They hunt us in our streets.
Yeah.
That's the scripture, right? They hunt us in our streets. What's that? Lamentations 4:18, 4:17. They hunt us in our streets. Right? Every black student was under surveillance. Now, at this time, you can't tell me it wasn't any white drug dealers. It wasn't any white murderers, child assaulting or abusers. Right? Think about the crimes that they do. Bank robbers. Right? We do blue collar crime. They get the white collar crime. You know, it's different dress up. So these things are going on, and they're investigating students that are trying to get doctoral degrees and master degrees and degrees in engineering, degrees in science. Right? Yep. Students that are trying to do what? Educate themselves so they can get out the hood. But the FBI said, okay, we're going to infiltrate these students. We're going to put every student, we're going to monitor every single student about what they're doing. Why? We got some more comments. Somebody just said something. Oh, that's Tawanda checking in. Shalom, sis.
Yeah, think about this, Arbon, right?
Yes, sir.
Cointelpro infiltrates, an organization like the Nation of Islam. Why is the Nation of Islam a threat to the American government?
Why is the Nation of Islam a threat to the American government?
Right.
Well, the Nation of Islam, and I'm gonna answer the question like this, sir. The Nation of Islam is more of a threat to the black community than it is to the American government. Right? The American government only see the Nation of Islam as a threat because it organizes black people.
Right.
Right. You have individuals like what's his name, Malcolm X, and Malcolm X was able to organize thousands of black men, right, and to follow whatever directive that he had.
Right.
The government believed that he was going to use those men to come against them.
Right.
And he never did that. Right. They believed that, even though, Orgy Mike was out here getting nasty, freaky busy, right? They believed that he was going to use the individuals that he influenced to go against the government. They believed the same thing about, even, what's his name? Tupac.
Right.
Because they believe that hip hop influenced the masses of black people. And if somebody was to gain control of hip hop and influence individuals, they will have those individuals go against the government. And those,
right.
None of us has ever did what? Plotted to take out the government. You know who plots to take out the government?
Yeah, white people.
White people.
They don't just plot. They storm the Capitol.
I was gonna say that January 6th. They stormed the Capitol.
Right. Now think about this, Arbon. What did you learn about Malcolm X growing up?
What did I learn about Malcolm X growing up? We learned that Malcolm X was the bad guy.
Right. Malcolm X was the bad guy.
And Martin Luther King was the good guy.
Martin Luther King was a good guy.
Right. When Malcolm X was teaching for a period of time until he came back from Mecca, he was teaching separation of whites and blacks.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Martin Luther King was saying, put the sheep in the cage with the lion.
Mm-hmm.
That's what Martin Luther King was saying. The sheep should hold a lion's hand.
Mm-hmm.
King knew these people were unaliving our people. Malcolm X knew these people were unaliving our people. Right? Malcolm X said, let's get away from them. until he came back from Mecca.
God.
But King, the entire time, King was like, let's hold hands, right? And then he had that dumbass dream. Talking about he believed that white babies and black babies and white children and white little boys and girls and black little boys and girls are walk down the street holding hands together. No. If we walking down the street, the white man got an AR-15.
Right.
He has an AR-15.
Now let me add to this, because this is what I learned about Malcolm X when I was young.
I ain't get to do no camp speaking this week. I got question.
I was always told that not only was Malcolm X violent, but what Malcolm X was teaching and pushing was for black people to arm themselves.
Yes.
And that was the lesson that I got as to why Malcolm X was bad. And as a kid, I thought having a gun was a wicked ass thing. You know what I mean? Like a kid in the 5th grade, 6th grade, when they're talking about Malcolm X. Because of Christianity, I thought, you know, that arming yourself to defend yourself was wrong.
So question.
God.
Do you think that having a dog is wrong?
Hell no.
You don't think that having a dog is wrong, because there was a time it was illegal for black men and women to own dogs, Mexicans to own dogs, Native Americans to own dogs in America. You know why, right? Why would it be illegal for, you know, the 12 tribes to own a dog? What do dogs do? Dogs alert you if someone is coming.
Right.
Right? You can, even the smallest dog, you can have a little small noisemaker. That's what I call the small dogs. You have a little small noisemaker, and what's going to happen if somebody approaches your front porch, they're going to bark. Right? They make a yap, 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 yap. If you got some dogs outside, the dogs are quiet until what? Someone approaches the property, and then the dogs are going crazy. The white man didn't want the black man, Native American man, or the Hispanic man to know that they were creeping up on them.
Right.
Right. So he made it illegal for you to own a dog. So it's illegal for you to own a firearm in America. It's illegal for you to own a dog in America. Right. Think about this. Think about the thing. It was illegal for you to learn how to read in America. These are the things that was in law. Black man, Native American man, Hispanic man. Right. And they didn't want you to learn how to do any of that, because as long as they can keep you uneducated, right? As long as they can keep you asleep and not knowing what their dog whistle tactics are, right? As long as they can keep you out of you know, learning what's going on around you, and understanding that they are the ones destroying you, not the YNs. Heard them dumbass IUIC dudes talking about you know, the scripture that says that their children are your oppressors.
Right.
They're going around telling niggas them was YNs. Yeah, that's the YNs doing that. The YNs is oppressing you. No, dummy. But you know,
yeah. You know, it always kind of boggles my mind how you hear these people call the police on a black man with a gun.
Yes, sir.
And they specifically say he's got a gun, as if it's illegal to own a firearm.
Exactly.
Like, it's what are you saying? You know what I mean? And for the police to react to that, it's like, you're a black man with a firearm in 2025. You're doing something illegal, even though it says it's legal. And again, what did Christ say? You know them by their fruits. Look at what happened to Tamir Rice. Look at what happened to that brother who, what was it? He was reaching for that car freshener. I forget what it's called. Castile.
No, he was reaching for his ID. Fernando Castillo.
Fernando Castillo, he was reaching for something.
He was reaching for his ID.
Right. And I think they even said, I think he even told the officer, "I have a firearm in my vehicle."
He did. He said,
Yeah.
"I have." No, he said, "I have a firearm permit."
Yes, it was something like that.
What you have to understand is that when you take the firearm permit classes in the United States, well, I know in Michigan and Ohio, tri-state area, when you take the firearm class here, they advise you in the class to tell an officer that you have a firearm on you.
There you go.
Right? Think about this. The teachers are advising you to tell the officer you have a firearm on you. And when you advise this officer that you have a firearm on you, he's about to shit a brick. Because niggas ain't supposed to have guns.
Right.
Right. Who in the hell gave a nigga a gun? That's
right.
2 movie quotes that you missed. Now, but think about it. So once that little Willie White officer understood that this nigga had a gun, right? Yeah. He must be reaching. Even though he asked Fernando Castillo for his ID, he's like, "Oh, I gotta shoot him.
Right.
I gotta shoot him because he's a nigga with a gun. Yeah. Niggas ain't supposed to have guns. Yeah. Right? We were in the first black police officers were in Atlanta. First black police officers. Right? 2 things these black police officers could not do. One was they could not have a gun. Right? 2 was they couldn't arrest white people.
Right.
So you a cop and you can't arrest white people because you're a black police officer.
Right.
Immediately, I'd have said what the NWA has said for a long time: the police. It's an F word in front of that. F the police. That's what I would have said. Right. So if it was more criminal for a black police officer to arrest a white person, right, in Atlanta at that time than it was for the white person to commit a crime.
Right.
During World War II, and folks, if y'all don't believe it, these are things we brought up in class before. And the reason why we do this is because Cointelpro was a government agenda. So what other government agendas do they have against your black ass that you don't understand? Right? Mm-hmm. Black servicemen during World War II were treated like trash compared to the German POWs that they were arresting. Right? They wouldn't allow think about it, they wouldn't allow black servicemen to have food and covers. Think about it, they fighting in Germany, it's cold. Right? They were taking the covers and the comforters to heat themselves and giving it to the white POWs before they were giving it to their black counterpartners. Right? To your black counterpart. What I want to bring out, sir, is the GI Bill. Have you heard of the GI Bill?
No lie.
So the GI Bill was when an individual would fight for the United States, now is served for the United States in one of the military groups. You get a GI Bill that help you get pay for education. You get veterans discount in like housing and stuff like that, or
right.
You get certain kind of loans to get housing. So that was one of the recruiting devices that they used to get blacks to join up with the with the armed forces. Those people went over to war and came back and didn't receive any of those benefits. They came over here, and a lot of people stay in certain areas because it was better for them to stay overseas than it was to come back home. The conditions were better for them in their mind. Their conditions were better for them to stay overseas than it was for them to come back to Jim Crow America.
Mm-hmm. You know, and so something I'll add, you know, just so everybody understands, like when we look at the leaders inside of the black leaders, Hispanic and indigenous leaders that we have, like we as a people look to them for guidance. And you got to be questioning when your leaders are telling you that, what was that called, the Hubble one? The G what?
GI Bill.
That when your leaders are telling you that the GI Bill is something good for you. You know what I mean? When your leaders are telling you that the Christian church is good for you, when they're telling you that you should vote Republican, you should vote Democrat, you have to, like Christ said, beware of false prophets.
Damn right.
Like you really have to watch these leaders. You really got to watch who it is, you know, you put your trust in, because historically this kingdom has shown that our leaders have consistently been infiltrated.
Yes, sir.
That they have consistently, you know, received funds from the government to change their message just a little bit. Going back to slavery, when, you know, they're getting preachers like the slave owners, they would prefer a black slave to be the preacher to the slaves. They would prefer the house Negro to be the preacher to the slaves, because then the slaves, you know, they might feel a little more comfortable. They might feel a little more safe listening to their own people. You know, just obey your master. You know what I mean? God loves everybody. Servants, be obedient to your masters.
Mm-hmm.
They prefer listening to that from their own people. And they have consistently done that. You know, we're reading up until, you know, these places that are infiltrating in the 1970s, 1976, 1980s, 1990s. I saw Adiyar just post something on Kanye West apologizing to the small hat community for his anti-Semitic remarks. And Kanye West said he was the Shemitic the person. Kanye West said it himself. We are the Jews, and they are Jewish, something like a Jew.
Damn right.
And it's like, to now be apologizing, you got to be wondering, you know, why are you putting your faith in Kanye West? Why are you putting your faith in T.D. Jakes? Why are you putting your faith in Jesse Jackson, Malcolm X, Martin Luther King? And if you're putting your faith in these people, are you testing the fruits of of their labor? Are you looking at the fruits of, you know, what it is they taught us to do?
If I may say,
let me finish one more thing. Like, you look at the fruits of integration.
Mm-hmm.
Now we see that Cointelpro infiltrates Martin Luther King's dad, infiltrates Martin Luther King and his movement, and 40 years later, here we are living his dream. And what did it do for our community?
Not a damn thing.
It destroyed us.
Mm-hmm.
These are the fruits of Martin Luther King's quote unquote dream. We see the fruits, and once we're able to see it and say, wait a minute, the black household is destroyed. You know, we integrated with the people that hated us. We're now sending our kids to schools, you know, where they're learning to be LGBTQ, and, you know, the teachers hate them and this and that. And it's like, okay, what else did Martin Luther King stand for? This is a devout Christian man who taught us to forgive our enemies and love the people that abuse us. You know what I mean? Like this is what we were taught. You know what I mean? Yeah, but go ahead, Abba. You wanted to say something?
Every president of the United States, and what you're saying is so heavy, sir, because every president of the United States was considered Christian. Yes or no? Right? And guess what? Right? They didn't forgive George Bush Jr. didn't forgive Saddam Hussein for his remarks against George Bush Sr. Right? That's why they went after George Bush. They didn't forgive Osama bin Laden, who they blamed for bringing down the World Trade Centers. They didn't forgive. They're telling you to forgive and forget. Forgive and forget slavery. Forgive and forget Jim Crow. Forgive and forget the lynchings that happened during the 1919 Red Summer. Right? Forgive and forget those things. But yet and still, right? And then they tell you God loves everybody. That's why you got to forgive and forget. But they don't forgive and forget. Right? They don't follow the same Christian practices that they want you to follow, black man, Native American man, Hispanic man. What they want you to do is be docile, take their orders, right? Take their orders and walk around here marching and crying for civil rights. That's what they want you to do. Cry about civil rights, right? Yes, sir.
I can never get this picture out of my head.
Which one?
I was watching. I remember watching videos of news reporters in Russia, and they were going around interviewing Russians regarding the war. And I kept watching over and over Russian women praying to God for the destruction of the Ukrainians. And it's like I can see a free man praying to their God who they believe in to destroy their enemies. And I'm like, how come our people can't grasp that concept? She is freely, a what she would say a God-fearing Christian devout woman, but she is praying that God kills Ukrainians. God unalives Ukrainians. And I watched them say it so, like without any remorse. It's not like they're praying for something wrong. They see an evil nation of people, unaliving their babies, and they're praying that God destroys them. We are the only people on the face of the earth that don't do that.
We love our enemies.
We absolutely, not just love we love the people that abuse us.
Stockholm syndrome.
Let's if I could, let's play that video. I think it's like 4 minutes long. Let's play that video and get some more information on the Cointelpro. What was that?
You send it to me?
Yeah, Con.
Let me see if I can pull it up, sir.
Oh, it's in your text messages. It's a.
Somehow you gotta turn to the side. Can you hear me, sir? Slakia, sir, can you hear me?
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you now, sir.
Oh, yeah, it's because I'm on my cell phone. When I open a different tab, I think it shuts me down.
Yeah, you gotta turn to the side.
There was a YouTube video I sent you on Cointelpro.
Okay, I just gotta find the link. Let's see, Cointelpro. Yeah, I can search that one out. Give me a second, sir.
Because it gives you a quick historical, time frame of the government putting their hand, inside of Black people's affairs. We say that all the time in UPK. If you would just leave us the hell alone, we would be fine. We don't need anything from our oppressor. You know what I mean? That's why the ISUPK is such a valuable place for Blacks, Hispanics, and Indigenous, because you don't have a leader, who is being advised by Europeans. You don't have a leader who's being told by the FBI what to tell the people. You know what I mean? Quick shout out to the chat. We got Tawanda Williams. Who was that last one? Shut off from my screen. There was somebody else, another sister popped in. Y'all Shema by Shema Shai, Thwada for tuning in. I don't know if you can see that last comment.
See the last one? Let me check it out real quick. Still trying to find this video. We got someone named, what it says, meaningless. That's just some.
Yeah, but avoid that one. Skip that comment.
Let me go up.
There was somebody after. I could have swore I saw somebody after that.
No, that's it, sir.
Okay, come.
Yeah, I think. Let's see. I think I got it, sir.
Okay.
Okay, let me let's do this. Share screen.
I mean, again, if you're tuned in, make sure you like, share, subscribe. All right, make sure you share the videos.
Can you see that, sir?
Khan, that's the YouTube one?
Yes, sir.
Khan, yeah, I can see that.
And activists wrestle with the recent release of FBI files on Dr. King. It's a good time to remember the counterintelligence program, Cointelpro, which was used to thwart the Black freedom struggle. Although the FBI acknowledges Cointelpro as beginning in 1956 with
that, the COINTELPRO was used to thwart the Black freedom struggle. You know what I mean? That was its purpose, because the government of America does not want you to be free. And think about this. I thought slavery was emancipated in what, the 1860s?
1865.
Right, 1865. I thought slavery was abolished. So what do you mean thwart the freedom of a Black man in the early 1900s? How does that make sense? I thought we were already free. Keep playing.
operations targeting the Communist Party and expanding in the 1960s to include civil rights and Black Power activists, the roots of surveillance and disruption go back much further, to the early 20th century. Callie House, leader of the first mass reparations movement, was among the earliest victims of federal repression.
Pause, right?
Harrison and Mark.
Now, this is a sister fighting for reparations. What do they always say? 40 acres and a mule. I want my 40 acres. That was something promised to us, was it not?
Yes, sir.
They told us that they would give us land. They would give the slaves land where they could just go and you know what I mean, start building up their own wealth. None of the slaves got it, but Europeans did get it.
You know,
Europeans got land. Go ahead.
We got robbed during sharecropping.
Right. You know what I mean? And what was this? This was one of the first recorded COINTELPROs, meaning the FBI has had a part in your destruction in 1916. This isn't just 1950s, 1960s, 1970s. The FBI was, or you could say COINTELPRO, is the reason you didn't get your land, is the reason you didn't get reparations.
Damn right.
That's a part of history, right? Keep playing.
Marcus Garvey were two others targeted by the Bureau of Investigation, the FBI's forerunner, which used black informants to undermine their work.
If I may, sir.
Go ahead.
Right there, he said he used black informants, right? There used to be a saying.
Yeah, break that down.
All colored folk ain't colored folk.
Right.
All of us ain't us. You know, all of us ain't for us. Right. There's a lot of us that take that dollar bill sign and put that dollar in the pocket and will turn, you know, what was that? The OJs had a song called For the Love of Money. And then a lot of our people would trade on our people for the love of money.
Right.
And they knew that. They did it with the dope dealers, sold you poison for the love of money. You got sisters out here selling their body for the love of money. You don't think that these big time leaders in your community, King, took the money from the FBI, Creflo Dollar taking that money. These big time leaders that are in our communities are taking and selling us up the street for the love of money.
Right. And think about that, Ahabawan. Like these what TD Jakes? Does TD Jakes not have his own private jet?
Damn right.
Like what are the fruits of TD Jakes? How much billions of dollars does that man have? And you got all these millions of dollars. Why is there a ghetto in your neighborhood struggling? Like that's the fruit of your labor. Who you should be? TD Jakes should be a front runner of. Okay, stops is about to end. Black people can't get their food stamps, even though and think about this, we're barely the ones getting the food stamps.
Damn right.
Well, this ain't even a lot of people, TD Jakes, that you got to help out. You got a small population of people in your neighborhood. You got all these millions of dollars. They should be at your doorstep knowing that they are perfectly fine.
Yes, sir.
Nigga, sell your goddamn jet and everybody's fine. You know what I mean? Like
you said sell the goddamn jet and everybody good. That's all he got to do.
You know what I mean, go give your $1,000 suit to a child in the ghetto. Do you understand what you'll do for that family?
If I may, sir.
Oh, go ahead.
There was a parable about I believe it was Christ talking to the rich man, and he had said he's always followed the law, statutes, and commandments.
Right.
He was told to sell everything that he had and give it to the poor. He couldn't let the rich man can't let go of that money.
He could not let it go. You know what I mean? And that should again tell you, black man, Hispanic man, indigenous man, like you go into that church looking at TD Jakes like he's the model for success, because his wealth is the indication of a servant of God. His wealth is the indication that this man is obeying God, when that is nowhere in the Bible. Like you should damn near be afraid of getting some riches, because more than likely you're gonna do something stupid with it. You know what I mean? You're gonna let money get in the way of you getting in the kingdom. You know what I mean? Christ was said, it's hard for a rich man to enter the kingdom of heaven. Not just hard, it is damn near impossible. And you want to pray for riches? Like you should be mindful of the things you ask for. You know what I mean? Let's keep going on the video.
Military intelligence even opened a file on Dr. King's grandfather, A.D. Williams, as early as 1917.
Now wait a minute.
Spingarn, a key.
The FBI opened a file on Martin Luther King's grandfather. Now, what influence do you think that had on Martin Luther King? Why is the FBI infiltrating Martin Luther King's grandfather? Why are they doing that? And why are you in 2025 blindly believing that Martin Luther King is good? You believe Martin Luther King was good because some white teacher in the 4th grade told you he was good? Like, why do you believe Martin Luther King was such a good man? Where is this coming from?
And they said in 1917, sir, Martin Luther King wasn't born until 1929.
Right. You got to think about it, black man. Like, there's a lot of information that's out. Like, we can't be sitting here blaming everything on I didn't know. The Bible says, study to show thyself approved. Information is out here, black man. Right? Keep going.
Figure in the NAACP served as a military intelligence officer. Under his leadership, Captain Walter Loving, military intelligence's only long-term black agent, worked undercover and reported on several organizations, including the NAACP, the UNIA, and the IWW. Loving submitted influential reports such as race rights.
Like he infiltrated the NAACP. You know what that is, Arbon?
The NAACP.
Yep.
That's the one that Rachel Dozier was leader of.
Look it up real quick. You know what I mean? Just look at the definition of the NAACP.
You know, that's the National Society of what's it called? The National Association of Advancement for Colored People. So hold on. I got it right here. It says the National Association for the Advancement of Colored People, a U.S. civil rights organization set up in 1909 to oppose racial segregation and discrimination by nonviolent means.
Why did the FBI infiltrate the NAACP?
Nonviolent folk.
Nonviolent folk. Why did you infiltrate that? And if they're willing to put these military government officials undercover to infiltrate an organization that is trying to advance colored people, how can you tell me in 2025 they haven't infiltrated every black church? How are you going to tell me they haven't infiltrated IUIC? Go ahead. You going to say something?
Yeah, so if the FBI was designed to infiltrate and take down an organization that's designed to advance colored people, then the FBI's agenda must be to do what? Halt the advancement of colored people. Right? They're not there to push. The FBI was not put here. They didn't put this Cointelpro operation together to uplift colored people. Am I right? You there, sir? Shariwan. Well, I'll continue. Let's go a little bit farther.
Riots and their causes, radical publications among Negroes, final report on Negro subversion, and socialism among Negroes. It wasn't just activists who were under surveillance. After publishing his iconic poem, If We Must Die, in response to the 1919 race riots, Claude McKay became the first black author scrutinized by J. Edgar Hoover's.
Now, what I want you to understand is they brought up the 1919 race riots, right? The 1919 race riots, there was no race riot, from our side during 1919. 1919 was the Red Summer.
Right.
And during the Red Summer, black people were unalived and left in the middle of the street. Their blood ran down into the sewers, and that's why it was called the Red Summer.
Right.
Want me to continue, sir?
Fine. If I could say something real quick too. So like I just had a brother calling me, but these race riots, like, we got to understand that they infiltrated our riots. Like, you mean to tell me Black Lives Matter was our black leaders running the organization? Hell no. It was some white LGBTQ lady. running Black Lives Matter.
She
You know
got
what I
paid
mean?
too.
What's that?
She got paid too.
Yeah, come on, man. Got paid. They talked about how much money she made. You know what I mean? Talked about how much they made and gave nothing back to the community. So these Europeans are making money off of a quote unquote movement that's for us. You know what I mean? Like we really got to wake up in this kingdom. You know what I mean? Like Ezekiel said that Esau has a perpetual hatred for blacks, Hispanics, and indigenous. Perpetual means it's ongoing. It doesn't end. So it ongoing. With 2025, he is not going to stop hating you. It's never going to end. And we got to, wake up and understand that these people are never going to change. They might put on a different face. They'll try to dress, you up to go be a representative for them to destroy us. You know what I mean? History shows all the different diabolical things that they've done. And history is going to continue to show it. Another 10 years goes on, you're going to see the stuff that he did in 2010. You're going to see how, some FBI informant got Lil Wayne to go, teach black women to be whores. You know what I mean? You're going to see it. This is what he's always done. Right? Keep going.
Ghost readers. Hoover would go on to open a file on Langston Hughes in 1925, along with countless other members of the Harlem Renaissance. Military intelligence opened a file on Dr. King himself in 1947, while he was a student at Morehouse College. Just 1 month after his release from prison in 1952, a confidential informant provided the FBI with 3 letters written by Malcolm X. By 1954, Malcolm was placed on the FBI's DETCOM, Detention of Communists, and ComSab, Communist Sabotage, lists. Meanwhile, the FBI and other intelligence agencies had already begun recruiting informants within the Nation of Islam and other black organizations. Cointelpro was also global in scope. The ink wasn't even dry on Ghanaian President Kwame Nkrumah's inauguration when the CIA contacted Tom Mboya of Kenya and K.A. Bedema of Ghana to undermine
Hold on for a second, boy. Because and I want to say something, in love to all my brothers and sisters. You have to be an absolute dumbass to believe that the FBI has not infiltrated, the quote unquote Israelite community. Like you really have to be living under a rock to think that, the greatest movement on God's green earth, blacks, Hispanics, and indigenous waking up to their culture, turning back to their God in the place of their captivity, repenting, and praying for the destruction of their enemies, that the FBI has not littered this community. Right? You really got to be living under a rock to believe that. And you really have to wake up and watch and see, the different, what words would I use? The different strategies that the FBI has always used to destroy quote unquote black movements. Like the ISUPK is the ultimate fucking black movement that you have ever seen. We do not hide it. We love blacks, Hispanics, and indigenous. We are for our people. Right? Jeremiah says, though hand join in hand, I'm paraphrasing, something about though hand join in hand, something about that's not our salvation. You know what I mean? It's vanity. I'm just paraphrasing. So we know in the ISUPK following the Bible, we're not joining hand in hand with our oppressor. We're not marching with our oppressor. We're not marching with Europeans. We're not marching with Asians, Africans. We are not joining anybody. We are the ultimate love group for blacks, Hispanics, and indigenous. We want nothing but good things for our community.
That's right.
You better believe that they want to destroy this movement. You know what I mean? This is the greatest threat to their quote unquote national security. And we're not going to do a damn thing. We're not going to do anything but change our lives. We are not going to be criminals. That's what we're going to do. We're not going to do your drugs. We're not going to go to your strip clubs and turn our daughters into whores. We're not going to leave our wives. Not going to abandon our family. We're going to be good fathers. We're going to be good husbands. We're going to be good wives. We're going to be the ultimate upstanding citizen that a police officer could only wish he could, you know, be a certain level of masculinity that we have.
Damn right.
They could only wish to have the confidence that we have, the bravery and courage that we have. You understand? Like this, ISUPK is something real. It is something powerful. You know what I mean? And, you know, just for time's sake, we really got to listen to what Christ said. Beware of false prophets. So with that, I'm going to end the class. Arbon, you got anything you wanted to add?
That's it, sir. I'm good. You go ahead and end it.
All right, Most High in Christ. So with that, you know, this is the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge under Commanding Johnny Yohana. This is another history class. Make sure you like, share, subscribe. For water for tuning in, Israel. All right, shalom.